Hey everybody, I'm back with another process video, and this layout is called #beautiful. I'm going to start out with this pattern piece of paper, well actually two, and I cut a strip of this blue pattern piece of paper and it has hearts on it, and of course the background has circles. I'm going to use some twine to wrap around that large blue pattern piece of paper. Now this layout is all about my spouse Aubrey, and I'm going to talk about the story behind the layout here in just a second. I'm using nothing but items from my stash, which is awesome. I've had this paper hanging out for quite a while. Now I thought at first I was going to add this twine to put a little bit of texture there on the paper, and I was going to wrap it around, but of course the paper is just a little bit too long and it was starting to bow a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the twine, and now I have it nice and wrapped there with multiple strips. They're just about 3, and then I adhered that with some washi tape, and now I'm going to go ahead and adhere that whole piece down to the layout. What I'm going to do is create an L type design, which is one of my favorite designs. So I'm going to bring over another piece of pattern paper, and that is the B side of that blue paper. And I want to say this is by Crate Paper, but I don't remember the collection, all those papers there, and I don't remember the collection. I could be dead wrong. So there is my journaling that I typed up on a piece of cardstock, and the journaling is all about, I'm not going to read it specifically, but the journaling is all about talking about how we took these photos of Aubrey, and there's 3 that I'm going to put on the photo. This is a multi-photo layout for those of you who love multiple photos. And I took some shots of her because she writes professionally, and she needed some headshots to go along with some of her submissions. And the photos came out so great. There they are. There are the photos. And since, if you know my story and if you've been following me, my spouse is transgender, and she's transitioned 3 years ago and is still in the process. And sometimes for folks who are transgender, either male or female, they have a little bit of difficulty with self-confidence sometimes, and their look and their appearance, because the changes are so dramatic, and sometimes the change isn't as fast as you want and that type of thing. But these are some pictures that we took that she actually really liked the pictures. And she is just not a picture taker at all. She does not like having her picture taken, but she needed some photos taken, and she really liked these. And this was, you know, the first set of pictures that she's liked in a very, very long time. And so I just kind of talk about that in the journaling. And I want her to know that despite everything, all the changes and stuff, she is beautiful. And I hope she feels that way on the inside and out. So I wanted to definitely get this in our scrapbook. I felt over the past couple of years a lot more comfortable in scrapbooking this journey, her journey, and of course our journey as a family as she transitions. I mentioned in an earlier process video how difficult it was for me at first trying to figure out how I was going to insert this story into our life. And sometimes there are some really difficult moments, and then sometimes, most of the time, there are some really good moments as well. So anyway, that is the story behind this layout. So what have I done so far? To the bottom left of the layout, I added, of course, the journaling, and next to that, I made a homemade embellishment, and I did that as a part of a challenge on the Victoria Marie group last Friday, where we were challenged to create our own embellishments. And so I just took some die cuts that I just had laying around and assembled those together in a nice cluster, and that just worked out perfectly, and the colors worked great with what was already presented in the papers. Of course, I went ahead and positioned the photos. I have one that's 4x6, and the other ones that I trimmed down, and I don't quite remember the size of those photos. But I think if you are going to use multiple photos on a layout, then at least consider trimming down your photos so you can add more. And plus, having different sizes of photos really adds a lot of interest to a layout, in my opinion. Now here's another embellishment that I made. I just simply took a frame and a clip. I stapled that clip to the top of the frame using my tiny attacher and called it good, but I'm going to accent that frame just a little bit more. I'm taking some vellum, and I'm going to back the frame with the vellum because I wanted to mute the pattern paper just a little bit behind that frame, give it a bit of grounding on the layout. Now to the title, I added some beautiful gold foiled chipboard letters, and I think that is from Pink Paisley. I could be wrong. And so I spelled out the title, #beautiful. All right, so now I'm going to add some foam circles to that frame, and I'm going to adhere the rest of it to the photo. And at this point, I'm trying to think, what else do I want to add to this layout? So I grabbed this die cut, and it has a little flower and a mason jar, which is cute. And then this other little chipboard piece, as well as another die cut that says XOXO, all out of my stash. That chipboard piece, I think, is from a crepe paper sticker sheet. Then I'm going to add this little arrow label down at the bottom. Love that. I'm going to put the year there. And then I just found this little gold heart hanging out on my desk. So this really is a layout of things all from my stash, just things just kind of hanging out, and they just all came together, which is kind of my favorite way of creating layouts, actually. Alrighty, so I'm putting a little foam square underneath that heart there. There we go. Good to go. And now I'm trying to decide, do I need anything else? Am I done? I'm going to put that sticker back. That was also in my stash as well. No, I decided not to use that sticker. Never mind. The sticker got axed. Okay. And I think that's it. Yeah, I'm done. So there we go. Finished layout, gorgeous colors, everything from my stash, plus homemade embellishments. You cannot go wrong. And of course, that sentimental story that I have there, along with those beautiful photos of my spouse. All right, so here's some pictures of the layout. If you haven't already subscribed to the Victoria Marie YouTube channel, make sure you do that. Hit subscribe there at the top portion of the screen or somewhere on the screen. And be sure to check to receive notifications so that you will be notified every time a video is posted on this channel. All right, guys, I'll see you next time.